3-year-old Madeleine went missing during a family holiday in Portugal in 2007.
The prime suspect in her abduction and presumed murder, convicted pedophile Christian Bruckner, goes on trial in Germany.
Over the following weeks, sniffer dogs were released to help with the search and found traces of blood on a wall in the McCann's holiday apartment. They acknowledged for the first time that Madeleine could be dead.
What if one of the world's most infamous missing person cases had a shocking new twist? Could the answers everyone has been searching for finally be within reach? After 17 years, Madeleine McCann has finally been found. After years of false leads and dead ends, could Christian Braukmann, a man with a sinister past, hold the key to unlocking this mystery? What secrets has he been hiding, and why is he only coming to light now? Could this be the breakthrough that brings closure to Madeleine's family after all these years? Prepare for revelations that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Madeleine McCann's disappearance has been one of the world's biggest mysteries for over 17 years. Now, there's finally a breakthrough that could reveal what really happened. German authorities have identified a new suspect, Christian Braukmann, who was reportedly in the area when Madeleine went missing. This shocking development has reignited the investigation, with fresh searches in both Germany and Portugal. The media has played a huge role in keeping Madeleine's story in the spotlight, but it hasn't always helped. Wild theories, public pressure, and media frenzy have often complicated the search for answers. This case also shows just how difficult it is for different countries to work together on something as sensitive as a missing child, especially when it comes to tracking criminals across borders. As the investigation heats up again, everyone is wondering, could this finally be the moment we learn the truth about Madeleine McCann's disappearance? The unfolding mystery, Madeleine McCann's disappearance. The disappearance of Madeleine McCann, a 3-year-old girl who vanished from a vacation apartment in Praia da Luz, Portugal, in 2007, remains one of the most confounding mysteries of the modern era. Her story has left the world haunted with questions, spawning an unrelenting search for answers. Madeleine's parents were just enjoying dinner with friends nearby when the unimaginable happened. In a matter of moments, their little girl was gone, taken from her bed, sparking an international media frenzy that captured the attention of millions. The innocence of that Portuguese resort was shattered on that fateful night, leaving an indelible mark not only on the McCann family, but also on global society. How could a child disappear so suddenly, leaving so few clues behind? The case, with all its theories and wild speculations, has captivated hearts and stirred imaginations. For years, the authorities were met with dead ends, and though there were numerous alleged sightings and hopeful whispers of Madeleine being found, the truth remained agonizingly elusive. The passage of time did little to erase the grief and confusion surrounding the case. New technologies, renewed efforts by the police, and a shared global interest in the mystery kept the investigation alive, but the question still hung heavily in the air. Where is Madeleine McCann? The McCann family's desperate search for their daughter became a symbol of hope amidst despair. They launched campaigns, established fundraisers, and collaborated with various organizations to keep Madeleine's name alive. For the McCann family, hope was their only constant. They clung to the belief that one day they might know the fate of their daughter, even as the years wore on and their agony deepened. The Portuguese police, working alongside officers from Britain and Germany, continued to sift through leads. Each new lead brought a flicker of hope, but often ended in disappointment. It was a grueling process filled with false hopes and painful realities. That is, until new details about a prime suspect began to emerge, reigniting the flame of hope that had flickered for so long. The search for answers in Madeleine McCann's case has been a long and painful journey, filled with ups and downs. For years, the Portuguese police, along with British and German officers, chased countless leads. Each one offered a glimmer of hope, only to end in disappointment, leaving families and supporters feeling lost and heartbroken. It was a frustrating cycle that seemed never-ending. But everything changed when new information about a key suspect started to come to light, reigniting the hope that many thought was gone for good. This fresh lead introduced Christian Bruckner into the spotlight, and his name quickly became a buzzword in the investigation. Suddenly, all eyes were on him, especially since he was already in prison for unrelated crimes. The fact that he was in the vicinity of Praia da Luz on the night Madeleine vanished raised serious questions. Investigators wasted no time digging into his past, knowing that they might finally be onto something big. Could Bruckner be the missing piece of the puzzle that would lead to answers after so many years? As authorities began to uncover more about his history, everyone felt a renewed sense of urgency. This could be the breakthrough that finally brings clarity to a case that has left so many searching for truth for nearly 2 decades. The anticipation was palpable. Could this be the moment they had all been waiting for? The role of Christian Bruckner, a new lead. 17 years later, a breakthrough. German authorities have named Christian Bruckner as a key suspect in Madeleine's disappearance. A man already imprisoned for unrelated crimes, Bruckner's presence near Praia da Luz on the night Madeleine went missing raised alarm bells. His past, littered with violent offenses and deeply troubling behavior, has investigators poring over his history with fresh urgency. Bruckner's life is a mosaic of darkness, a series of choices that led him down a path marked by violence and criminality. His suspected involvement in Madeleine's case sends shivers down the spine of anyone following her story. The very idea that someone with such a disturbing past could have crossed paths with an innocent child raises the specter of lost opportunities for intervention. Why wasn't he considered sooner? Why did it take nearly 2 decades to hone in on someone with such a dark and dangerous past? These questions fuel the current discourse surrounding the case. Bruckner's name brings with it the possibility of closure, yet there is also a deep sense of frustration. The years have swallowed evidence, leaving investigators with the heavy burden of piecing together a case that lacks solid proof. The haunting question remains: what happened that night? Did Bruckner indeed cross paths with little Madeleine? Could he hold the key to unlocking the mystery that has captivated the world? For Madeleine's family and the world, Bruckner represents a beacon of hope, but also a reminder of how fragile justice can be. The investigation is a race against time. With each passing day, the specter of doubt looms larger. New leads may arise, but so too can the chilling possibility of another dead end. As investigators dig deeper into Bruckner's background, they comb through mountains of evidence, tracing his steps, piecing together the fragments of a life intertwined with crime and secrecy. The case has transformed from a tragedy into a haunting narrative of a family's search for truth amidst the chaos. As the investigation unfolds, the tension thickens, creating a haunting atmosphere that grips everyone involved. The clock is ticking, and with each passing moment, the urgency escalates. Investigators dive into Bruckner's shadowy past, unearthing layers of secrets that send shivers down their spines. Each new discovery raises more questions than answers, as the narrative shifts from one of mere disappearance to a darker tale filled with potential dangers lurking just beneath the surface. The story of Madeleine McCann becomes not just about a missing girl, but a chilling exploration of the unknown, where every lead could either bring hope or plunge them deeper into despair. In this tense backdrop, the media plays a pivotal role, acting as both a beacon of awareness and a potential catalyst for chaos. As the cameras flash and headlines scream for attention, the public is drawn into the unfolding drama. The media's relentless pursuit of the story keeps Madeleine's name in the spotlight, but it also complicates the investigation. Rumors swirl like shadows, and misinformation can obscure the truth, creating a whirlwind of emotions for the family and the investigators alike. As the pressure mounts, the influence of the media becomes a double-edged sword. capable of stirring up hope while simultaneously threatening to derail the delicate search for justice. In this labyrinth of uncertainty, the quest for answers is fraught with peril, and the truth seems ever elusive. Media's influence, a double-edged sword. The case of Madeleine McCann is as much a story of media frenzy as it is one of loss and mystery. From the moment she vanished, the media latched onto her story, and the public followed every twist and turn with breathless anticipation. While the media's role in keeping the case alive cannot be understated, it has also been a source of chaos, confusion, and pain. The media's scrutiny has dissected the very fabric of the McCann family, turning their personal tragedy into a public spectacle. On one hand, the extensive coverage kept Madeleine's name in the headlines, ensuring that her disappearance was never forgotten. The vast reach of the media ensured that her case resonated with families around the globe, generating tips that could otherwise have gone unnoticed. Families everywhere were reminded of the fragility of safety, and this awareness may have even saved lives. However, the media's role wasn't always noble. The 24-hour news cycle fed into a frenzy of speculation. Tabloid papers splashed her parents' faces across their covers, accusing them of being involved in their daughter's disappearance. The theories and conjecture surrounding the case became so vast and complex that the truth was buried beneath layers of sensationalism. This created a fog of misinformation, which, rather than aiding the search, often hindered it. The impact of media coverage reached far beyond the McCann family. The sensationalized reporting and rampant speculation created a cultural landscape where child abductions became a staple of tabloid stories. The public was fed a diet of intrigue, but at what cost? For the McCann family, the media was both ally and adversary. While it gave them a platform to appeal for help, it also turned their personal tragedy into fodder for discussion and debate. The emotional toll of constant scrutiny was immense. They were thrust into the public eye, navigating the fine line between seeking help and protecting their privacy. Despite the overwhelming challenges posed by media coverage, the McCann family persevered. They became advocates, using their platform to raise awareness about missing children, pushing for systemic changes in how such cases are handled. Their resilience in the face of adversity serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can flourish amidst despair. In the midst of chaos, the McCann family's unwavering spirit shone like a beacon of hope. Their fight wasn't just about finding Madeleine. It became a powerful movement for all families dealing with the pain of missing loved ones. As they raised awareness and pushed for change, their efforts drew in a community of support, amplifying their message and keeping Madeleine's story alive. But with each passing day, the challenges of finding her loomed larger, adding urgency to their quest. Madeleine's case also highlighted the complicated world of international cooperation. From the very start, her disappearance showed just how tricky it is for countries to work together in crises. The McCanns faced a tangled web of laws and protocols that made the search feel like running a marathon in quicksand. Each miscommunication and bureaucratic delay felt like another blow to their hopes. The complexities of working across borders turned what should have been a united effort into a frustrating battle against time. As tensions grew, the clock ticked on, reminding everyone that the path to justice isn't just about seeking answers. It's also about finding a way for nations to come together in the face of unimaginable loss. The McCanns' fight for their daughter became a powerful lesson in resilience and unity, proving that even in the darkest moments, hope can light the way. Challenges of international cooperation. Madeleine's disappearance has underscored a stark reality. When it comes to missing persons cases, especially those that cross borders, cooperation between countries is essential, but deeply complicated. From the moment Madeleine disappeared, tensions between the Portuguese and British police forces began to simmer. Miscommunications, differences in investigative methods, and bureaucratic delays all contributed to setbacks in the search for Madeleine. As her case grew in complexity, the need for international cooperation became even more apparent. Police from 3 different countries, Portugal, the UK, and Germany, now work together, but the years of missteps and misunderstandings between them cannot be easily erased. The lack of a cohesive strategy for handling international cases like this one can create a web of confusion. Each country has its own laws, protocols, and cultures that dictate how investigations unfold. The differences can lead to delays that cost precious time in the search for a missing child. Investigators must navigate a maze of red tape, with each misstep potentially leading to irreversible consequences. Christian Bruckner's suspected involvement stretches the limitations of international policing even further. Bruckner moved freely across borders, leaving traces of his past crimes behind him in different countries, making it difficult for law enforcement to track his movements or hold him accountable. The failure to monitor such individuals on an international scale allowed someone like Bruckner to slip through the cracks. Yet, the world is changing. The growing awareness of child abduction cases has prompted calls for improved international cooperation. Countries are beginning to recognize that the fight against child abduction transcends borders, and that unified efforts can lead to better outcomes. In the aftermath of Madeleine's disappearance, initiatives have sprung up aimed at enhancing communication between law enforcement agencies across nations. The integration of technology into investigative practices offers a glimmer of hope. Databases are being created to track offenders and share critical information, providing law enforcement with the tools they need to connect the dots in cases that span multiple jurisdictions. While the investigation is now focused on building a case against Bruckner, the years of bureaucratic hurdles illustrate the immense challenges of handling missing person cases that span multiple jurisdictions. The heartbreak that families endure in these circumstances is only exacerbated by the slow-moving nature of international investigations, where every moment wasted feels like an eternity lost. As the investigation zeroes in on Bruckner, the reality of dealing with missing persons cases across different countries becomes clear. Families caught in this struggle face a tough road, battling against time and red tape. For the McCann family, every passing day adds to their pain and urgency. Each hour feels like another chance lost to find their beloved daughter. The slow pace of justice can be incredibly frustrating, turning their hope into despair as they wait for answers. Yet, Madeleine's case has sparked an important discussion about the need for stronger systems. It's not just about finding her. It's about making sure no family has to go through this heart-wrenching experience again. Bruckner's alleged connection to the case has highlighted serious gaps in how we protect children from known offenders. This troubling situation raises important questions. Are there enough safeguards to keep vulnerable kids safe? How can we improve the tracking of released offenders to prevent future tragedies? As the McCanns fight for change, their journey becomes a powerful call to action, urging society to demand better protections for its most innocent members. In the shadow of this tragedy lies the hope for a future where families can feel safe, knowing that systems are in place to catch those who pose a danger. A call for stronger systems and hope for resolution. Madeleine McCann's case has highlighted more than just the emotional and investigative toll of child abduction. It has exposed glaring weaknesses in the systems meant to protect vulnerable populations from repeat offenders like Christian Bruckner. His suspected involvement in this case raises urgent questions about how convicted criminals are tracked after their release from prison. The inconsistencies in law enforcement systems across borders have made it far too easy for criminals to evade detection. Countries lack the kind of coordinated efforts needed to monitor offenders, allowing them to blend into new communities, sometimes with tragic consequences. Madeleine's case underscores the pressing need for a global overhaul in the way we track and manage known offenders. Stronger international systems must be put in place to ensure that those who pose a danger to society are watched closely. As discussions surrounding these issues grow louder, the world watches, hoping for change. The potential resolution of Madeleine's case could set a precedent for future missing person cases, with advancements in technology and policy shaping a more effective framework for prevention and intervention. The global community has rallied around the McCann family, showing solidarity in their quest for justice. Campaigns aimed at raising awareness and advocating for improved systems are gaining traction. Communities worldwide are inspired by the McCann family's unwavering resolve, reminding us that the fight for justice is a shared responsibility. In this age of information, we cannot afford to let another tragedy slip through the cracks. The voices of those advocating for change echo loudly, demanding that no child's name is forgotten. The McCann case can serve as a catalyst for hope, reminding us that even in the depths of despair, unity can lead to strength. As we delve deeper into this case, it is essential to remember the human element at its core. A family desperately seeking answers, a community yearning for justice, and a society committed to protecting its children. Madeleine's story is not just a mystery. It is a powerful call to action for a world that refuses to turn away from its most vulnerable members. As we wrap up this deep dive into the ongoing mystery of Madeleine McCann's disappearance, one thing is clear. After 17 long years, a glimmer of hope is emerging. With new leads surfacing, could this finally be the moment we uncover the truth behind her case? The journey has been filled with heartbreak and unanswered questions, yet each revelation sparks the possibility that the answers are within reach. What do you think about this surprising twist? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you found this exploration captivating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates on this case and other intriguing stories. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more mysteries waiting to be solved.